Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So by the time you're watching this, I'm actually already 23, and that's freaking crazy. I feel like I should bring out the gift that I got from my baby cousin, because she's also a Leo, to show you how I feel. Be right back. 23 princess, 23 queen. You know how it be. So before I continue with this video, I just want to thank you guys for watching me grow and for celebrating my birthday with me. Over the past few years, I've lost so many friends while also losing myself. I've had rejections, gone through mental health issues, and so much more. But on the other end, I've had so many difficult but needed life awakenings, rediscovered my love for art, found my true lifelong friends, and found myself again. The light always comes through after a storm. Thank you so much again. For this video, I wanted to pull out some of the things that I've learned over the past 23 years of my life. So let's get started. I hope it helps you too. The first thing that I really liked, one thing that I learned, the quote, "Our parents were taught to survive, whereas we are taught to live." We all know that parents, they're immigrants usually coming from another country, and they're usually just taught to work and do a career that they don't really like, make all these sacrifices for their children, right? They don't really have an option to explore other careers and hobbies and all that. But on the other hand, their sacrifices have allowed us to do more things usually, and we had more freedom to kind of pursue what we want and make them proud in some way. I learned that obviously I have more freedom with my career choices and my hobbies and how I choose to live my life, but I have to kind of credit this freedom to them. So this year I had a lot of realizations. I had a lot of, I had a lot of revelations. I am just very grateful for my parents, and I'm very grateful. I would like to credit my success and my freedom to them. Number 2, it's okay to fail. So this is something that I was very scared of. A lot of people are scared to pursue new things because they're scared to fail, right? I remember I didn't want to start a YouTube, I didn't want to start an art page, so many different things because I was scared to fail. But at the end of the day, we're so scared of failure just because we were conditioned to think that it's the worst thing ever. But so many people have to fail so many times to actually get to where they want to be. I just want to tell you that if you're scared of starting something because you're scared you're gonna fail, it's okay if you fail. Just keep getting back up and doing it again. Take a rest day or have time for self-care, or else it will do it for you. I've experienced so many times where I felt burnt out, exhausted, I didn't feel like getting up anymore. And it's because I neglected when my body would say, take a rest, bro, you gotta relax. I neglected that so many times, thinking I could just like work through it and I'm gonna get over it soon, right? But really, if you're working constantly, if you're working the same job, the same routine, and you're getting really little to no satisfaction or benefit or whatever it is from it, you're gonna feel so burnt out. So take some time for self-care at the end of the night. Read a book, journal, do something for you for once. Also, I know that's a privilege, so take a rest day if you're able to, or do small things that are gonna make you feel better. Also, my voice is so freaking weird today. I have no idea why. Is this what it feels like to be 23? I'm not even 23. Okay. Anyway, you can't force someone to change unless they want to themselves. I've been in so many situations where I kept waiting around in relationships, friendships, you know, parent relationships, any type of relationship, waiting for the other person to change, constantly telling them how to do things, when I just got hurt at the end because they actually weren't changing and they were still the same person basically, right? I know for a fact that if someone genuinely wants to change, they're gonna change. And you should not stay around for someone to make those changes, especially if they don't want to themselves. So save your breath, don't do that. If it's especially with like a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, or your partner, don't wait around for them to change, especially if you're waiting for years and years and it's the same mistakes over and over. Don't do it. To grow, you need to cut off the dead ends. So I really like this one. I thought of this in my head. You know, I really like the dead ends thing because it's like you gotta cut off your dead ends in your hair for your hair to grow healthy. But what I mean here, for yourself to grow and for your mental well-being, you have to cut off the people that serve no purpose in your life, right? So a lot of people from my high school, my elementary school, my past friendships, right? that I've kind of outgrown and they haven't been growing with me. I feel like since we're not on the same wavelength anymore, and it's fine to outgrow friendships, right? Sometimes you're just not as close as you want to be anymore, and that's fine. That's what happens when you grow up. If they're not helping your mind grow, if they're not giving you anything, then it's okay to cut them off. Just, you know, hang out with them maybe like once a year, but don't involve yourself so much in their lives where you're seeing them so often and they're your only friend group, because they're really not giving you anything. You need friends that are actually going to be there for you and actually help you grow. What's written for you will happen, and there's enough room at the table. There's this really toxic mentality in South Asian culture, in Desi culture, where there's so much competition, there's so much jealousy. Only one person can win in someone's eyes. There's backbiting. People are only friends with you because they want to succeed in some way or elevate themselves in some way. And I had to unlearn this pretty recently because, you know, I grew up in a society where I had this really terrible mentality. And I realized that someone else's success does not take away from my success. So I should never not help someone if they ask me for help. I should never prevent someone from getting to a point that they need to go because I want to go there as well. Because at the end of the day, Allah, God has everything written for me already, and I shouldn't be a terrible person to get to that point, you know? I know whatever is written for me is gonna happen, and there's enough room at the table for success. So my camera died and I decided to take you on my errands because I actually have a lot to do and I can't just sit and record. So let's continue this list that I have conjured. Actually, I'm also sweating, so please don't mind that. Alright, disclaimer, I actually start sweating a lot. You will literally see beads of sweat on my face. It was probably like 98 degrees in New York that day and I had no AC in my car. So please just love me and continue watching the video. It is still my birthday, so I hope you guys enjoy. Bye, I love you. Alright, number 7. Don't give up your alone time because you're scared of missing out. You're scared of FOMO. And it will be so much more beneficial for you if you just know how to say no. So I always had this fear of missing out when my friends would go clubbing or go to bars and restaurants, and I always felt like I was kind of letting go of my youth and I should say yes to everything. But at a certain point, I was just so focused on my mental well-being and I was so focused on my career and my business and everything that I just had to say no to all of these things. And I might be a party pooper because I don't want to go, and I know I got a lot of shit for that, but at the end of the day, it's your future, and if you have to say no because you want to progress, then say it. These things like parties and going out will be there for you later on when you're successful and you're happy. You don't have to say yes to every single thing. Oh my god, I'm so freaking hot. I also have no AC in this car, so that's amazing. Number 8. This one I actually needed to get help from my boyfriend because I couldn't think of another one. You're never as grown as you think. I really like this saying because every single year, every single month, we're like, oh shit, I grew so much, you know? I can't even recognize the person that I was last year, or the person from high school, or even the person from last month, you know? You're constantly growing and you just have to continue staying humble, right? Because there's so much shit that you don't know. And I know at a certain point in high school, you're like, oh my god, I'm on the top of the world. I know every single thing. I'm better than everyone. But honestly, you're not, and there's so much more that you can learn. All right, something else that I learned, number 9, long distance will only work if both parties make it work. So I used to think that someone living 20 minutes away from me was so far away, I would never be able to see them, and it was the worst relationship ever, right? But now my boyfriend lives in Florida, I live in New York, I see him probably every 2 months. A lot of people ask me, how the hell do you make it work? And the truth is, both of us want to make it work. Both of us don't need that physical connection because our mental connection is so strong, right? We don't need to constantly see each other to feel like that's how our relationship is gonna last. And I realized the hard way that if someone wants to be with you, if someone wants to make it work, they will make it work, even if there's thousands and thousands of miles between you guys, even if you don't see each other for a while. So that's the hard truth. I don't deserve to be sweating this much now that I'm 23. Number 10, stand up for yourself because no one else will. I also don't know why I said number 10 with 5. Number 5 times 2. I remember when I was younger, I had no voice. So many people would walk over me and I wouldn't say anything. Because honestly, like, I didn't really have the confidence to stand up for myself, right? But now that I'm older, I don't take shit from anyone. If someone disrespects me, I will say something. So stand up for yourself, because that little voice inside of you, that little girl, little boy, wants someone to be there for him or them. You should be that person. Now that you're older, now that you're growing, don't take shit from anyone. Stand up for yourself. Number 11. 1-1. I learned that the language that you use to describe yourself and talk to yourself has such a big friggin' impact on your life. If you constantly talk badly about yourself, if you say, oh my god, I'm having such a bad day, oh my god, I'm never gonna succeed, everyone hates me. If you constantly talk badly about yourself, that's the outlook you're gonna have on your life. So the same thing happens to you. If you constantly have this bad perception of yourself, that's how your life is gonna be. So if you constantly keep saying positive words of affirmation to yourself, if you constantly believe that you can do something, that's the shit that will actually make you want to do it, and you're gonna actually succeed.
Alright, hello, I'm back editing. I actually did not explain this well enough, so here I am. So if someone constantly insults you, if someone constantly, brings you down by saying the same things over and over, you're probably gonna internalize that and feel shitty, and it's gonna get to you, unless you're like friggin' made out of rocks and it doesn't faze you at all, which that's very rare, but for most people it affects them, right? So the same thing is applied to yourself when you're talking to yourself negatively. So you should start talking to yourself the same way that you talk to a best friend or a friend when they give you good news, and for just anything in general. If your friend says, oh, I just passed the test, oh, I just started a business, you're gonna be so friggin' happy for them, right? So give that attitude to yourself and just talk to yourself like that, and you're just gonna feel so much better.
Number 12. There is no right time to do something, so you might as well do it. Don't do the waiting game, because you're gonna keep saying, oh, okay, when I get a promotion, I'm gonna move out, or when I get more money, I'm gonna start a business. You're gonna keep having this mentality, and you're just gonna get to a point where it's like you're gonna make another excuse to do that thing, right? Once you get a promotion and you want to move out, you're like, okay, now that I have a promotion, I should save some more money and then I can move out. And it's like, okay, maybe I have to get some more furniture and get everything before I move out. There's so many things that you make excuses for, right? And some of them are reasonable, but also the more you wait, the less likelihood that you're gonna actually do it. I did so much of that waiting game, thinking that once I have clear skin, then I can make a YouTube. Once I have more confidence, once I have more followers, I can make a YouTube. But that shit literally wasted like 3 years of my life. Number 13, so freaking important. Start turning your complaints into privileges. So many of us complain about small things, right? For example, oh my god, I have to go fill up gas in my car. Oh my god, I have to go grocery shopping, I don't have food at home. I have so much work to do and I still have to go to the gym, right? So many basic freaking things that we complain about on the daily that we don't even realize, and so many of these things are privileges. It's a privilege that we even have the ability to go to the gym despite us having so much work. It's a privilege to say that you don't have enough food and you have the chance to go buy more. There's just so many things that we complain about, and we need to stop. We really, not even stop, we have to realize that what we have is a lot, and we have to, I think, just practice gratitude a little bit more and turn those complaints into privileges. So please practice gratitude a little bit more. I know now that I'm older, I start realizing just how lucky I am to have the life that I have, and you need to do the same. Just please.
I was actually being a little silly goose, and I forgot number 14. So here it is. Also, if you're my friend or if you're close to me, don't listen to this part, because you're gonna be like, oh my god, that host is lying, she doesn't even do this. But I've been trying to get better. So my next piece of advice is, please try to eat on time. I know this is kind of basic or simple, but I'm really bad at this. I oftentimes skip out on meals. I just make excuses in my head, and I just don't eat because I'm lazy sometimes, right? Or I'm just working a lot. But that's not, you shouldn't do that. So please make time to eat, because it has such a big effect on your productivity and your anger issues. I'm literally mad at the world. I'm so mad, and it is literally fixed by a simple meal. So even if you're lazy and you don't want to eat, just eat like a cucumber. That's what I did the other day. So do that. Stop skipping out on meals. Stop skipping out on breakfast. That's literally the start of your day. Please eat. Thank you.
Number 15. Do not trust people that find it so easy to talk badly about other people. So what I mean by this is I've met so many people who immediately start talking so badly about other people who I don't even know, but they just feel comfortable to talk badly about them. And I immediately know their character and how they are as a person by just that. And who's to say that what they're saying to you isn't also how badly they're talking to other people about yourself, right? You cannot trust people like that. You cannot trust people that revolve their entire personalities about talking about other people. And you can't trust them with your own business. And for your own mental health, for your own peace of mind, don't associate yourself with them. I've done that in the past and it's so bad. It's so bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Number 16. Giving off a false perception of yourself on social media to make yourself look better is so freaking useless. It does nothing. I remember back in the day, I used to literally post things to make me look expensive, make me look rich. I would post me traveling all the time, and I wouldn't post anything authentic, right? I wouldn't post my genuine self, and then I would get mad when people didn't really know me for me. It's because I had a false freaking Instagram, you know? I still know so many people that do that to make themselves look richer and just look different on social media when they're not like that. And at the end of the day, what is that doing? What is that doing? It's making you look better, okay, but like, you look shallow, first of all. You look like you have no personality. What I recommend is that you actually post things that reflect your personality, reflect how you are, and it's just so much more genuine. I promise that it's gonna just make you feel so much more light. Don't fake yourself to feel like that's how you need to fit in or that's how you need to be better than people. Number 17, time is valuable, so don't waste it. Who the hell is freaking talking? Are you dead ass? Time is very valuable, don't waste it. I used to be very young and I would just lay in bed, watch movies, watch YouTube, and just waste my time. I would just waste all the days doing the same thing over and over. And I just at one point got sick of it and I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? It's true, like life is short. There's so much little time to do the things you want. There's so much little time, but also a lot of time, you know. You can start pursuing things when you're friggin' 50 years old. There's no age to it. But like, with the short amount of time that we have living, why not use it to travel? Why not use it to do things that fuel us? Why don't we actually spend that time doing things that are useful to us and will help us in some way, instead of wasting away our times like just on TikTok and all these friggin' social medias that are friggin' plaguing our lives nowadays. Number 18, I say this all the time, social media is fake. Stop comparing yourself to other people, because all I'm saying is they better not hit my car. It's already damaged enough. Comparing yourself to other people prevents you from progressing on your own terms. I realized the hard way that comparing myself to other people really did nothing for me. I think my biggest competition is myself. I'm always trying to outdo myself. But once you compare yourself to other people, it just hinders you from actually progressing on your own, right? And also, you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They can be depressed. They can be going through a lot of stuff that they're not showing. And you should just be grateful about your own life, worry about your own life, and just focus on how you can succeed on your own through your own terms. Number 19, the right person will come when you least expect it. I remember there was a phase, my friends are still going through this, where they're continuously going out of their way to find someone. They're questioning their worth. They are going for the wrong guys, wrong girls, and it's just a mess, right? They're constantly going out of their way to find someone for them because they're tired of being single, and I get that. Obviously, like, if you're single for a while, it's lonely. But for me, my boyfriend, the right person for me, came along when I did not expect it, and I was very comfortable with being alone. I was happy with it. I was very independent, and I think once you start working on yourself, that's when the right person will be attracted to your energy and come out of nowhere, right? I just think that we should be comfortable with ourselves, and that's when everything will fall into place. Number 20, practice empathy without passing judgment. So what I mean by that is, it's so easy to see someone that is in a different circumstance than us, who we, think that is in a bad situation, and we say things like, oh, that can never be me, oh, that must suck for them. Just really terrible things sometimes, and we just immediately feel like we can never be in the same place that they're in. And I think it's really important to actually practice empathy and put yourself in their shoes and try to understand what they're feeling. because that's just gonna make you so much of a kinder and genuine person. What they're going through can at any time happen to you. Anytime. You never know God's plan, right? So it's really important to actually practice empathy and try to understand why they're going through it and help them in any way that you can. Number 21. I think everyone should travel, obviously if you're able to. I know that some people don't have that privilege. I started working for myself since I was 15, and I started finally saving up enough money to start traveling. And it is such a different world out there. I went to Paris, I went to Belgium, I went to California, Florida, different places, and it opens up your eyes to so many different cultures and different ways of living. And I love just people watching and observing, and it's amazing. Like, it's just gonna make you so much more open-minded, and I recommend it to anyone. Just save up if you're able to and travel. Number 22, parents are imperfect people too. And this took me a while to even know this. I always saw my parents as just parents, but we literally forget that parents are humans too. They've made mistakes, and they aren't just your parental figures, right? They're people. They've had lives, they have their history, and this is still hard for me to kind of acknowledge still. But now I understand that some of the mistakes that my parents have made is just because they're figuring things out on their own. They're human, and all of us could have made that mistake. Just because they've raised us, just because, you know, they're older than us, doesn't mean that they're 100% perfect, right? Over the past year, really, I've just understood why my parents say certain things, where they're coming from, and I just understand more. Alright, so the last thing, number 23, the little zinger, you know, little 23. The energy that you give out will always come back to you. I always say this, if you're a shitty person, it's gonna come back to you. Stop talking shit about other people. Stop thinking that you're better than everyone else, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna have a shitty life most of the time. Your energy has a very big play on everything, your whole life. So just be a good person. Stop gossiping. Stop doing all these freaking negative ass things. Just be a good person. Come on. Your life will turn around if you're a good friggin' person. So that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. I actually have a few errands to run, so that's why I'm kind of in a rush. But thank you so much for celebrating my 23rd birthday with me and growing with me, and I'm so thankful for you guys. I really, really love you guys so much, and I am excited for this new year. I'm excited for this new era. We're gonna be growing and learning so much more. Please like and subscribe, and check out my Instagram, it's Labyrinth Ave. Check out my podcast with my boyfriend, it's Difficult-ish, on Spotify, Apple, and other streaming platforms. And also check out my website if you want to see some merch, if you want to buy some art apparel and accessories, whatever you want to see, it's labyrinthave.com. But I'll see you guys later. I love you. I hope you have a great day. Bye.